This photograph took 2 exposures to create, and you might be surprised just how simple it is. Later on in this episode of the vlog, I'll show you how I created this final image. You join us as we visit the epic Rumbling Bridge Falls. Morning everyone and welcome back to the vlog. Now I'm at the Rumbling Bridge Falls today, which is fairly local to me, but I thought it would be a good time to come down. I was expecting sort of like a drier day, but we've had a bit of rain in the night, and actually I think that's probably helped. As I came down round the corner there, I could hear that waterfall in the background, and as soon as you hear those falls, you get that little bit of anticipation and excitement as to what you're walking into and the images that you're going to come away with. So I'm really looking forward to sort of getting down the bank there and seeing what the falls are doing after a night of rain. Now, one of the things that draws me back to this location time and time again is just the variety of subject matter that there is to photograph. We've got the waterfalls which come down through here, the river cascades through a series of rocks, and those rocks have got some stunning textures to them, and then the whole area is surrounded by woodland. So it's a safe bet that whatever type of day you come to here, you're going to come away with a couple of good images. Now the river flowing through here is this beautiful peaty brown colour that gives some of the rocks a real sort of coppery tone to them. But you've got that added advantage that we're surrounded by these trees and they're reflecting that lovely green light. So some patches of water have got that green coming through from the reflections and other parts of that dark peaty brown colour. And it really adds a little bit of interest to this whole sort of water cascading through here. Now, as I mentioned earlier, you can see just some of the beautiful textures in this rock and the shapes as it comes down into the water. So I think the first thing I'm going to do is set up the camera, put on the 70 to 200mm lens and just capture some of this water coming down, the shapes, the textures of the rocks, just looking for those really nice patterns. So while I've been working my way around with the 70 to 200 millimeter lens, capturing some of that lovely texture and color in the rocks, what I found is to really capture some movement in these bubbles that are coming down on the surface of the water, sort of around about 1.5 to 2 seconds, is giving me some beautiful sort of moving lines through that water, which really looks nice. But now I've come back to take the main waterfall, I've got this problem that I really want a longer exposure to capture these bubbles coming down, but I don't want to blow out all of that beautiful texture in the waterfall. So I'm going to use a technique of combining two images together. Let me set up the shot and first of all show you how I'm going to get those two exposures. Now what I'm going to do is put on my 24 to 70 millimeter lens, and I'm going to put on my combined neutral density polarizer just to be able to get that longer exposure. As I said, I want around about sort of possibly 2 seconds, and to achieve that I'm going to need to sort of knock back that light a little bit. So I'll put the filter on and then I'll show you on the back of the camera exactly what I'm looking at. Now, as I mentioned, what I've done is put on a 3-stop ND filter with combined polarizer, and that does two things for me. First of all, it enables me to get an exposure of 2 seconds. It's quite bright, and without that ND filter, I wouldn't be able to get that long exposure. And also it enables me to cut back some of that light that's being reflected off the water there, which, as you see, as I adjust the polarizer, you can see just how much light there is and how that cuts through the water. Now, down on my bottom right, you can see these bubbles that I'm trying to capture with my longer exposure. Down on the bottom right, they're a little clearer because it's a little bit darker. There isn't that light being reflected off the water. So I'm aiming for around about a 2-second exposure. I've made sure I've got some of this beautiful textured rock in the front of my image here, just to add a little bit of foreground interest. That water sweeps around and we've got that waterfall behind. Now I'm going to be cropping the image to remove some of that sort of blank sky in the front there. So that's going to be gone. Maybe crop a little bit off the bottom. So look, let's get this first shot, 2-second exposure, and we'll see how that affects the movement in the water there. Now let's have a look, and you can see, look at that water sweeping around. You can see those bubbles in there just coming around in my image, which is absolutely beautiful. And the effect that I'm trying to get, you can see that water around there just coming around. But if I zoom into the waterfall, right in as far as I can go, you can see that we have lost all of that detail in the waterfall, especially where it hits the river down at the bottom there. That's completely blown out. There's no texture in that waterfall. Now, you could argue the fact that it's so far off, it doesn't really matter, but I want that nice and clear. I want that texture and I want that detail. So what I'm going to do now is adjust my exposure down so that I get around about 1/6 of a second, and what that's going to do is just give me a little bit more detail in that water. I'm not going to move the camera at all. I'm going to keep it fixed. So let's get that next shot. Okay, so now what I've done is I've just replaced the combined ND polarizer filter, just the polarizer on the front, and I've got my exposure down to around about 1/5 of a second, which should give me much more detail in that shot. Let's capture the image. Let's zoom in. Oh, let's show the image. Let's zoom in. And now you can see we've got all of that lovely detail in the water cascading down. What we're going to do now is take those two images back on the computer, and I'll show you how I very simply combine those two images together. I've opened both images in Photoshop, and you can see that they're on two separate layers. The bottom layer is my longer exposure, which I'm using as the main image, while the top layer is the shorter exposure. If I zoom in on the waterfall, you can see that the longer exposure has smoothed out some of that lovely detail in the water, and this is where the second exposure comes in. First, I want to make sure both images are perfectly aligned. I'll select both layers, go to Edit, and choose Auto Align Layers. Photoshop will then make sure that the two images line up correctly. Now I'm going to use the longer exposure as my main image and add a layer mask to the shorter exposure. I'll do this by selecting the top layer and clicking the Add Layer Mask button at the bottom of the Layers panel. Next, I'm going to invert the mask. On a PC, that's Control-I, or on the Mac, Command-I. Now I'll set my brush opacity and flow to around 25%, and this allows me to gradually reveal the detail from the shorter exposure rather than bringing it all back at once. If I toggle the visibility of the top layer on and off, you can see the difference. And if I zoom in on the waterfall, you can really see how much more detail we can bring back into the water. I'm now going to work my way around the image, gradually revealing the shorter exposure wherever I think it improves the photograph. It's not just the waterfall. Some areas of the river have also lost some of that lovely detail because of the longer exposure, so I can selectively bring that detail back in those areas too. And if I go a little too far, that's not a problem. I can simply switch my brush from white to black and paint over the area again. Remember, white reveals and black conceals. And that's it. We've combined two different exposures to create one final image, keeping the smooth movement from the long exposure while bringing back that lovely detail from the shorter exposure exactly where I want it. So I think that's it for this episode of the blog. It's been a beautiful morning here. Some of those textures, and there's so much to photograph with the water cascading down. And I don't know if you can see, but the day's completely changed. When I arrived, it was wet and overcast, and that sun's now come out. So I'm going to wander on off, maybe capture a few images while that light's okay. But anyway, thank you so much for watching. If you've enjoyed the episode, don't give it a thumbs up. If you haven't already, please subscribe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next episode. Thank you so much for watching.